Okay, this is Patrick Armstrong again, and this is my video diary, or part 5 of the Chaco, if you're still watching that. Just want to sort of document this one because yesterday was the toughest day of my life with anything. And like if you know me well, you know I've done some pretty tough, pretty difficult things, but there's always been, or challenging things, there's always been sort of support nearby, or you're not too far away from help, or you can generally stop at pretty much any time. But yesterday was a fucking nightmare. Where you left me in the last video, I managed to break free from the Satan mud, or clay, and stock up again. Just had to carry my stuff about a mile or so. Continued on for about 15 kilometers, and the road wasn't too bad, although I did have a bad enough fall, so it sort of gave me a bit of confidence and speeded up a bit, and off I went. Then after that, the road just turned horrendous, absolutely horrendous. The last 15 kilometers or so, there's roads about this width here. That there is just a runway, and they're just unbelievable mud just sinking down into it. Water the size of a sort of average size privately owned swimming pool just covering the whole road, and no way of getting around it. I have no idea how my bike survived. It's lucky enough I didn't wait for a rescue thing as well, because no other car passed that day. So at one point went through a big puddle. It was covering the whole road. I thought, well, I have to go through anyway, and the bike was more or less pretty much submerged. There was water going over the seat, and again, I really don't know how it survived. And at about just when you pass something like that and think, oh, it must be getting better, you know, nothing can be as difficult as that. You go quite literally 100 meters and you've more puddles and stuff like that. Even things like this is very difficult because you just go through, your wheel sinks, there's no grip or anything. And it was just like that for 15 kilometers. So I had about 30 kilometers, which was doable yesterday. So you can't even walk in this stuff. Everything's just sinking. And about 15 kilometers of just, even that was first gear stuff just going along. And 15 kilometers of just puddle after puddle, thinking my bike was going to give up at any time. I got to the point I was having to stop and just simply walk through each puddle, look for the shallowest part. And the mud was just, even on normal bits of the road, the mud was like driving on ice. I think I fell in total 5 times yesterday. One bad enough one, sort of bent the handlebars in the bike. Had to sleep beside them last night. Bent the handlebars, broke the front windshield, and fucked my legs up a bit. The legs are covered in bruises, cuts, scrapes, burns from the exhaust. Just an absolute nightmare. And not really knowing what was ahead, not knowing if there's any cars. Fucking stop that. And but lucky enough, just before it got dark, there's a very remote military base, I think, to stop smugglers, and you sometimes get FARC coming through here. Just over, so we can zoom in. That's the military base there. So they're kind enough as they let me sort of sleep on their porch because it's getting dark. They let me sleep on their porch and gave me some water, because I only drank about a litre of water yesterday. I only had about a litre left and I was saving it because I didn't know what was ahead. So I slept just in that porch. Yeah, that's about it. I have about another 100 kilometers of this road today, but I think it's not great, but hopefully not as bad as yesterday. As long as there's no big puddles like that covering the whole road, should be okay. So yeah, if you're thinking of doing this, don't. I don't even know what bike you'd do it on, because you're talking 3 feet of water in places. I really could have done with sun today. I was like sort of really hoping for sun, but last night it just rained most of last night. It's now about 7 a.m. It got dark, got light about an hour ago. After it raining all night, and it still really doesn't look great. There's a little bit of glimmer of hope up there that